is going to be when Ohio State does eventually get their big play. It could be the first drive. It could be the fourth. I don't know. They're going to get a few of them, probably more than the Michigan wants to have. Michigan's defense has to be able to pick themselves up off the field and still go back out there and come back the next drive. What we've seen from Michigan in the past is they get down 14 or Ohio State scores a few times in a row. All of a sudden it feels like, oh my God, how do you even stop this? You have to play all four quarters and make sure that you keep coming at them, keep coming at them, keep coming at them.
Now, what could be the ace in the hole for Michigan on both sides of the ball with impact would be what I wanted to see Ohio State tested last week, and we didn't get a chance to see based on Kenneth Walker's sore ankle, only getting 6 carries, I think partially because of the ankle, partially because it was 21, nothing like that. But Ohio State limited him, but 6 carries. Who knows what would have happened? So insert Hassan Haskins for Kenneth Walker, and if he's in that same 31 carry type mode and type of ball game, probably the score is going to be a couple touchdowns higher than the Penn State game, but still in that mode where he's doing double work. He's keeping Michigan on the field, wearing down an Ohio State defense in the fourth quarter, and he's keeping C.J. Stroud on the sideline.
And that's got to be the key for Michigan's offense. Run that clock. And I think it's going to be this really tough thing for Josh Gaddis where you don't want to be too conservative because we've watched them be too conservative and then that offense goes nowhere. So you have to keep the playbook open, but at the same time, you're trying to run clock all day long and keep that Ohio State offense off the field. That would be my worry for Josh Gaddis is Jim saying, hey, let's get a 9-minute drive. And then Josh Gaddis, when he wants to get a 9-minute drive, is he tries to run Hassan Haskins up the middle 3 times and goes 3 and out. So that would be my worry about Michigan's offense. But if they can have that balance of milk clock plus keep the playbook open, be creative, and not be too conservative, then I do think that all of a sudden this game gets changed a lot. If you let Ohio State on the field with their offense, over and over, especially, I could see it happening where Ohio State goes out, scores, and then all of a sudden Michigan's offense, which has had some slow starts this year, if they go 3 and out and then Ohio State scores again, it could get out of hand early. But if Michigan's able to milk some clock, even just not that they have to score, right away, but just keep that defense on the field, get some momentum going, then they can, make this a game even, past the halftime, I guess, past halftime.
Are there any players on either side of the ball that maybe not a lot of people know about outside of Michigan circles that may need to step up? This series is littered with guys that kind of came out of nowhere and became legends based on one performance.
Yeah, and I think what's unique about Michigan's offense specifically is that it's been a new guy kind of every week that has been the standout guy. Obviously, Cade McNamara has been the consistent guy. Hassan Haskins has been the consistent guy. Even Blake Corum, although he had been injured, I do believe that there will be a plethora of guys. One guy that showed out last week that I think could be an X factor is Donovan Edwards. If he is able to line up in the slot position, and now that's a mismatch in a lot of different ways. If he can, come out of the backfield into the slot, go from the slot back into the backfield, all of a sudden you're being creative with what you can do. He could be a guy that has that game. I also think Andrell Anthony could be that guy. He's been, he's a freshman, number one. The moments the story kind of writes itself a little bit for him there. But he's got that elite speed and the size that he could go up against this Ohio State secondary. So those guys I think could be the guys on defense. And then, one of the guys on the guys on offense, one of the guys on defense that I think isn't the top dog, but Junior Colson has been a linebacker for Michigan. And I think his duo of Nikhai Hill-Green as well. Josh Ross has been the senior linebacker for them, but Josh Ross is a guy who if they keep him in, Ohio State will go at him and run that crossing route and get him in a bad matchup with a fast wide receiver. Kai Hill Green and Junior Colson are much more athletic. So I could see both of them on the defensive side getting a lot more play than they're used to because Michigan needs to work in, these fast linebackers to cover some of the receivers.
In mentioning Donovan Edwards, as a side note, Edwards and Travion Henderson were the top 2 rated running backs coming out of high school in this most recent recruiting class. So they're already making an impact at each school and could in this game.